be solving quadratic equation using the form A, or the completing the square method. And the completing the square method means that you'll have the coefficient of x squared on both sides, which is represented by A, open bracket x plus h all squared plus k. Now, how can you use the completing the square method to solve an quadratic equation? There are multiple ways to do it. Well, there are two ways to do it, but it will eventually come back in this form. So one way for you to get it in this form is to equate the equation you are given to 0, and then you solve and do a lot of extra work. But there is a simple formula for you to do it, which is to simply know that h is equal to negative b divided by 2a, and k is equal to 4ac minus b squared all over 4a. Now you may be wondering, what is a, b, and c? And these all come from the original equation, where the coefficient of x squared is the term that we refer to a, the coefficient of x is what we refer to b, and the constant is what we refer to c. And when you're taking these, you must take the signs with them, because it will determine if they're positive or negative. So now h is equal to negative b over 2a. You simply look at your equation to say, what is b? In this, b is positive 10. So you'll just say negative sign and put your 10 divided by 2, open bracket, your a is 3, so you just put your 3 there. And this is equal to negative 10 over 6. And you can simplify it or you can leave it as is. So this will be equal to negative 5 over 3. Now k in this case, k is equal to 4 times a is 3, so you write your 3 times c is negative 8 minus negative b, which is 10 squared. All of that must be divided by 4a. And a in our case is 3, so 4 times 3 equals 4 times 3 times 8, so 8 fours is 32, 32 times 3 is 96, and that's negative 96, minus 10 squared is 100, all over 12. So that's 196 divided by 12. Or you can leave it as negative 196 all over 12. Now, when you get here, you simply put it back in your original form. So you'd have a, which is 3, open bracket, x, because it's a variable, plus h. h is negative 5 over 3, close bracket, all squared, plus k. And k is equal to negative 196 over 12. So that's the form ax plus h all squared plus k. Now, if you're supposed to solve the quadratic equation, it means that now you need the value of x. Now, for you to get the value of x, you will have to equate it to 0. And then you will solve for your variable of x. Now, you can do it by simply saying 3 in this case. So you're doing everything to reverse the operations to get the variable by itself. So 3, open bracket, x plus negative 5 over 3, all squared must be equal to, all of this was negative 196, so this will be equal to positive 196 over 12. Now, this part, you will try to get rid of the 3 here. So the fact that it was multiplying here, you will divide that side by it. So you can simply keep it as a decimal, as a fraction, or if you want to put it as a decimal, it will be just the same. So any way that you are more comfortable working with. So if you are better working with fractions, it's okay. If you are better working with decimals, it is okay, just the same. So this would say x plus negative 5 over 3 all squared is equal to 196 over 12 divided by 3. So x plus negative 5 over 3 all squared is equal to 49 over 9. So that's what it is when you divide it by 3. So you can just check with your calculators just the same. Now when you get to this part, the fact that there's a square here, you'll have to do the opposite of that, which is to find the square root. So it will be the square root of x plus negative 5 over 3 all squared is equal to the square root of 49 over 9. So when you square root this sign, it will cancel out it is the reverse of the square, or it will cancel out the square. So you'll just have x plus negative 5 over 3 is equal to, you find the square root of each of these. So what can you square to get 49? So that's 7. So 7 is 49, so that will be 7 over. What can you square to get 9? That's 3. 3 3s is 9. So it will be 7 over 3. Now you are in this step. You have to do the opposite to get rid of what's happening here. So this was adding negative 5 over 3, or you can technically read it as saying x minus negative 5, x minus 5 over 3. So the fact that this is negative on this side, you will balance your equation by adding it to both sides. So it will be saying x is equal to, if you add this to here, it will equal to 0. So you can just cancel off that part and say 7 over 3 plus 5 over 3. Now, and a key thing that I had almost forgotten. Whenever you find the square root of a number, you must always have plus or minus before it. So this is technically saying that plus or minus 7 over 3 is actually what can give you the full effect of this. Because if you have negative 7 and you square it, you will get positive 49. You have negative 3 and you square it, you will get positive 9. Just as if you had positive 7, square it, you will get 49. And if you have positive 3 and square it, you will get 9. So this will be plus or minus. So plus or minus, plus 7 over 3 plus 5 over 3. Now, why do we have to ensure that the plus or minus part is there? It's simply because it is giving you two values of x that can satisfy your equation. So if x, so say x now is equal to, we are working with positive 3 over 7 over 3, and we add 5 over 3. That will give us 5 plus 7, that will give you 12. So that is 12 over 3, which is equivalent to 4. So here x can be equal to 4. However, because it is plus or minus 3, you can also say that x is equal to negative 7 over 3 plus 5 over 3, which is equal to negative 7 plus 5, that will give you negative 2. So x can also be equal to negative 2 over 3 for you to get your equation being satisfied or complete. So that is why the plus or minus part is there. And if you would have seen the additional part of solving quadratic equation using the formula, the quadratic formula, you would get a better understanding of why the x, the plus and the minus part is truly necessary in solving, because you will need two values for the variable x. So because it's quadratic, it means that there are two values that can be multiplied to give you the final answer of x. So that is how you will arrive at this. So this is what you do in the general essence of solving quadratic equations using the completing the square formula. Now, for you to get to this part here, there's another approach other than this part, which you will be able to, your teachers generally will teach that to you. So I won't go through it in any video. But it's just to do a form, and you'll work it out, and you'll get back these same answers using the same thing. And then you'll arrive at this stage, and then you'll just do the same thing, come down. So that's the approach. So I hope this video would have helped you to understand how to solve quadratic equations using the form of completing the square. So tune in again with Mr. Brown as I explain other mathematical concepts.